Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Larry Larrock, your presenter. In our top stories, female dentist and family arrested in drug-related matter. Gangs are the new law in urban Trinidad, says report. Amnesty International report, hundreds die in Nigerian custody. Details of these will follow.
Deep in my heart, deep in my soul, I'm gonna love you, SAT TV. Yes, I'll do whatever it takes just to keep you in my world, no matter what I'm meant to. Yeah, this is Divine Songs, and you're looking at SAT Telecoms.
Yeah, I know that things are tough, but we will make it out. Dominica, we all gonna make it one day. The pressures of the system make us lose around. Oh yeah, we all gonna make it one day. Yeah, listen now, there's something that I wanna say to you. You get me so angry. Yeah man, this is Emma Moses, you know, and you're watching SAT News, the people's choice, yeah? Make it blessed, make it blessed, make it blessed. Love.
Welcome back. The General Manager of DOMLEC, Dominica Electricity Services Limited, Mr. Colin Cover, says they support the government's plan to pursue geothermal energy in Dominica. According to Mr. Cover, our consumption of energy seems to be an ever-growing river. It has been driven by the availability of fossil fuels, and this increase in appetite for energy is affecting the changing climate of our planet.
In 1993, the cost of a barrel of crude oil was $27. In 2003, it was $35. In 2008, it was $98. And today, the average price year-to-date is $87. And we in the power industry are very aware of the effect of the cost of electricity on the economy of the country, the economy of businesses, and also its effect on individuals. Year to date, we have spent $46 million on fuel, and this is 25% more than it has cost us to run the rest of the company. So we spend way more money on fuel alone than what it costs to run the rest of the company.
He said the company makes no profit from high fuel prices, but this cost must be passed on to the consumers to keep DOMLEC viable. To combat this, he said, we need to find reliable sources of renewable energy and use less energy in an attempt to be energy efficient.
So our approach has been to support the government on the geothermal plant, as we are firm in our conviction that this offers the best long-term solution for renewable energy in Dominica. Not just to the persons who can afford to purchase their own solar units and so, but this geothermal solution will give more affordable power to even those persons who do not have the wherewithal to buy their own individual wind turbines or RE.
Mr. Cover says, even if energy is cheap, it should not be wasted. The average household has the ability to cut energy consumption by 10 to 15% through energy efficiency.
Energy efficiency is not just simply about LED lights and high efficiency refrigerators and other appliances. It can be a way of life. If you are making a cup of tea and it's only 1 cup, there's no need to fill the kettle to the brim. All you're doing is you're heating up water that you're just allowing to cool down, and you have to pay the power company for that. Or even if you're burning gas to do it, if you have a gas stove, you're still burning gas that you are not really using properly. So, you know, you're just going to let that water sit and cool, and so that's energy wasted. At the plant, the power plant, I gave the plant manager a goal of reducing the plant's own energy consumption. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that she's been doing. We have installed motion sensors to turn off lights when no one is in the room. So if you have an office building and the people are continually leaving their light and air conditions on, if you can install motion sensors that will simply just turn off the lights when there's no one in the room, or turn the air conditioning thermostat down.
The public is being urged to become what he calls light police and turn off lights when they are not in use. Efficiency should be a way of life, he added. In more news, on Tuesday, October 15th, at the Old Mill Cultural Center, the 8th inaugural meeting of the Kenfield Urban Council was held to swear in 6 men and 2 women to serve the community of Kenfield for the next 3 years. The Urban Council was first inaugurated in 1992 under the Kenfield Council Act No. 9 of 1984, amended by No. 12 of 1990. Out of the 8 members on the council, 4 have served the council in the past.
I, Simeon Albert, do swear that I will and will and faithfully discharge the duties as a member of the Kenfield Urban Council. So help me God.
Mr. Albert said, despite attempts by persons to bring him down, he has still been re-elected as chairman, and that now is the time to move forward and head projects for the villages.
I carried all the blame during the Kenfield Urban Council election for all what that was done or was not done. What may not have fallen under the responsibility of the council, but of course, one man carried the blame, Simeon Albert. Forgetting the fact, we will continue to work with the Ministry of Public Works to ensure that the areas of concerns are addressed. I can tell you safely that the parliamentary representative is here with us today. He has driven through the roads and have also identified the areas of concern.
Over the past year, the council has raised over $150,000 and hopes to make much more this year. Over the past year, the council has raised over $150,000 and hopes to make much more this year. Michael Coppell, Michael Timothy, and Joyce Dupuy, all elected members of the council, were not present at Tuesday's inaugural ceremony. Honorable Reverend Blackmore, parliamentary representative for the Mao constituency, Acting Prime Minister Dr. Kenneth Darrow, and Acting Minister of Community Development Johnson Trigo all addressed the gathering and urged the councillors to work together to better develop the urban community. The ceremony also saw the presence of His Excellency President Charles Savre and his wife Clara Savre. In more news, a number of students from the Social Center Preschool marched throughout the streets of Roseau on Wednesday, October 16th, as they joined the rest of the world in celebrating World Food Day. Coordinator of the Social Center, Ms. Norma Cyril, stated, since the inception of World Food Day, the school has been annually celebrating this important event in a very special way.
We know Dominica has that history for longevity, and most of the older people will tell you the type of food they eat. We are trying our best to create that awareness in our people now and in our young children. To get that to work, we must start from the children being very small. That is when they can get accustomed to the foods and go to appreciate the food. We are really proud to be associated with World Food Day today, and to be going all around Roseau, trying to create that awareness among people.
The school has a feeding program where the students are fed nutritious meals daily. Director of Agriculture in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Ricky Brumant, explained, in observance of World Food Day celebrated annually on October 16th, they try to get all Dominicans involved in various activities highlighting this important occasion. It is celebrated in an effort to recognize the significance of healthy food and healthy eating.
That is important in ensuring healthy bodies, healthy minds. And that is important for several reasons as well. It's important for ensuring that our food import bill is reduced. As a matter of fact, in the region it's very high. In Dominica it's very high. But if from an early age we have school children, we have the young ones eating what grows in the backyard, what grows on our farms, what grows from our local agro-processed entities, agro-processing entities, then we can ensure that the food import bill is reduced. Secondly, as the theme for this year it talks about sustainable food systems for food and nutrition security, what that indicates is if we are able to grow in a sustainable manner our food, we can ensure that our food is secure and the mix is such that our diets are healthier.
He said parents should ensure they feed their children food grown locally, which are also nutritious, so they will grow up as healthy individuals. Supermarkets, local vendors, consumers and policymakers are being urged to aid in the drive of eating more locally grown food to ensure food safety and security.
The notion of a healthy people depending on healthy food systems mean that you are what you eat. And the notion that we should eat what we grow and grow what we eat, they are combined in truth and in fact to make a healthier community, a healthier nation, a nation that has the energy and the drive to produce, to ensure that the economy itself is kept alive. World Food Day, as you see, we've had a number of activities in the Division of Agriculture with a number of stakeholders. The Social Center is one of the key stakeholders on World Food Day that helps celebrate that day with preschoolers, with the small ones around the country. And from year to year, they play that role.
According to Mr. Brumant, the world will continue to need food, but we have to ensure the food we consume is healthy. In more news, one family has found themselves in trouble with the law after being arrested on drug-related matters. Police Public Relations Officer Inspector John Carbon has more details.
On October 15, 2013, members of the squad arrested a family of 3 at their residence at Sultan for possession and cultivating cannabis. Victor John, a school teacher, and Shannon John, a journalist, were charged the same day and were granted bail by a Roseau magistrate after being charged with possession with intent to supply 227 grams and the cultivation of cannabis. The other individual, Idolin John, a dental practitioner who had fallen ill while in police custody and hospitalized on October 15, was charged the following day for the same offences, appeared before a Roseau magistrate on October 16, 2013, was granted bail.
They will reappear before a magistrate on Thursday, October 17, 2013. In other stories, amidst controversy surrounding the government's plan to pursue geothermal energy in Dominica, Minister for Public Works, Energy and Ports, Honorable Reverend Blackmore says Dominica has been ranked #1 for developing its geothermal resource. This rating was announced at a recent Caribbean conference on renewable energy held in Aruba, which Mr. Blackmore attended.
We have gotten to the point where we have been able to source grant funding to do the most critical and the most risky component of that project, which is the drilling process. And we have been able to do that by mobilizing over $41 million by way of grant funding. And in talking about the actual drilling of the 2 full-size wells, we have been able to attract cheap financing from the French of $6.5 million euro. As I'm speaking to you next week, I met some developers in Aruba. The European Union will be in Dominica to speak with us and to offer again further grant funding towards that regard. we have been able, as a government and as a people most significantly, to show a clear roadmap that speaks to the short-term, medium-term, and long-term development of our geothermal program in Dominica.
The minister is confident that when the small geothermal plant is operational, it will significantly decrease the incidence of poverty in Dominica. For too long, he said, we have been looking at the symptoms of poverty, but now is the time to confront the causes, and having access to the national grid is critical to alleviating poverty.
A number of ordinary folks in the rural areas, not only in Dominica, because you will know in Jamaica, rural Jamaica, 150% of rural Jamaica do not have access to the national grid. But if we can get to the point where in Dominica, we're all on sundry, notwithstanding your social circumstances, can be hooked up to the national grid. Think of what it can do in terms of lifting people up. That is what any serious government must be concerned about. So we have to, as a government, provide the policy direction so that the private sector can follow.
Discussions about geothermal development dates back to a 1969 content analysis carried out by the United Nations. In that analysis, it was identified that Dominica had the potential to be the greatest player in geothermal development in the Caribbean. In other news, the final press conference before WCMF, the World Creole Music Festival, 17th edition, was held on Wednesday, October 16th at the office of the DFC, Dominica Festivals Committee. New supporting acts including all the rising local bands and artists will make up their debuts on stage at the WCMF as part of a new initiative by the DFC. The committee wants to use this opportunity to scout for new talent and for the local acts to meet with agents and have a chance to be alongside the big stars.
We decided that we didn't want to use those who already had a chance to do main stage last year. We want to keep it as a scouting for talent, looking for the new upcoming star that will dominate in the future. So every year we hope to bring 4 or 3 new faces to the main stage, where we have agents on the ground with the big headliners. We have the headliners there. You never know the day that one of them may say, okay, I can get one of you to...
LED walls will be introduced as well as on-screen displays.
This is about Dominica. This is about our food. This is about our drink. This is about our culture. This is about the boiling lake. This is about the Emerald Pool. This is about the spaces that you can go in when you think about Dominica and you want to visit an island which is still unspoiled and still a space where you can have a great time safely. This is what we're trying to portray in the park.
3 well-known DJs will support Mr. Val Coffey and Mr. Leroy Radix Charles during the festival. Friday night will feature DJ Mystic, powered by Heineken. Saturday night will see DJ Flip rocking the crowd, while DJ Smoke will play on Sunday night. Superintendent of Police Mr. David Andrews spoke on health, security, and safety measures that will guide the activities of the festival.
To ensure the activities of World Music Creole Festival is secure and safe, we have divided our security into 2 areas. That would be traffic and venue security. And let me say, this year, as we have done in previous year, we will adopt a robust approach with zero tolerance to criminality. We will be swift in taking people before the court and ensuring persons who disobey the regulations and the rules within the operation of the activity be dealt with swiftly.
This year, they will provide a police holding area. A police post with signage and policemen will be deployed in 3 tiers for security. Policemen will be positioned at the venue, in the capital, and at scenic areas where tourists are likely to visit. Persons with licensed firearms are asked not to enter the festival with the weapon and should keep it at the police station in their respective districts or at the police headquarters. The superintendent also urged the general public to cooperate with the rules and regulations set by the police. traffic arrangements for the WCMF will be from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 3 days. And in court news, Kasim Shillingford of Bath Estate has been charged with an indictable offense of burglary and is now remanded at the Stock Farm State Prison. According to the facts of the case, on October 5, 2013 at Kenfield, Shillingford trespassed on the property of Deepak Spring Factory, stealing a number of items including a Mitsubishi headlamp, a steel brush cutter, a chainsaw, and $2,000 in cash. The estimated value of the items stolen is $20,950.55. He was not allowed to play. Shillingford was also charged for the theft of grocery items with $144 belonging to Miss Henry of Roseau on the 21st of September 2013. He is being represented by attorney Joshua Francis, who indicated that he will be making an application for bail on Thursday, 17th October 2013. This has been the local segment of the news.